I understand like what it looks like right now. It seems like things are kind of falling apart, and it's just a very confusing period, a confusing phase that you might be going through. What you have to understand, which really allows you to see the good in it, is that God's will is always perfect, and He's always working within you for good. There's a verse in Philippians, it says, I'm sure of this, that he who began a good work in you will bring it to completion at the day of Jesus Christ. What does that mean? It means that once he starts working in you, he's not going to stop. And until that good work is completed, it'll all work out for good. It always works out for good in the end. And that's what's the troubling part of seeing it in the moment, is that it just doesn't seem like that in the moment sometimes. And a lot of the times, what you're going through might not even be for you. And I've realized that, whenever these storms do come in your life, it's like, all right, God's trying to show me something here. What is it you're trying to show me? A lot of the times, well, He still might show you something, but a lot of the times that storm isn't even for you. It could be for somebody else. And you were just the vessel that was needed to show them that. And I've been in that situation before, and it kind of sucks. But at the same time, I did learn from it. And He did show me something about myself in a way. But to always act like everything needs to go our way, that everything's about us, it's just unrealistic, because that's not how life works, number one. And number two, unless we open our eyes and our minds to the fact that it's not all about us, then it's going to be really hard for us to see the goodness in everything, because naturally we're going to want everything to be perfect, right? We're going to want everything the way that we want it. And a lot of times it's very unrealistic at times. And that's how God works, you know. He doesn't show you what's always good. He'll show you what's bad. He'll show you a scenario that might really seem bad in the moment, but in the end, it's always going to work out for good. And there is hope in seeing goodness in no matter what you're going through, right? There's always good in the situation. And you assure yourself this by knowing that His will is always perfect. His will is always working for the betterment of anything that is good. So it's like, even if you don't see that right now, right? You might not see it in a week. It might be a while before you realize that. But in the end, there's always going to be something that is good that comes out of it. And that's the beauty of how He works. And something that really helps me is when I look back in my life, when I look back at times whenever it's like, I never saw that playing out how I meant it, how I thought it would play out, or how I wanted it to play out. But in the end, that's exactly what needed to happen for it to work out and for me to be to where I am today. And you look back and you start to see how this is really true. And all that He does and all that happens in our lives is that it always does work out for good. Literally, whatever it is works out for good. And, you know, it's really hard to see that sometimes. It really can be hard to see that. And, you know, just like myself, like I know a lot of you probably struggle with that, like seeing the goodness in everything. Because life is hard sometimes. It's hard to see goodness. The reality is that goodness, it comes from within you. It's something that you can really pull out of yourself, I feel like. And you have to just see that for what it is and understand that whatever is happening, the goodness will be revealed at some point, and it always will be. And that's the blessing of it. You know, that's the beauty of it. So what does that mean that you should like do in those situations? Well, I mean, I wouldn't beat yourself up over it. I mean, how many times do we like go through periods where we tell ourselves we're going to do something, or we're going to stop doing something, we're going to go down a different path that's hopefully supposed to be better for us, and we end up falling back in the same things that we were doing. We beat ourselves up over it. But at the same time, it's like those falls are absolutely necessary for you to grow and for you to learn, right? And so it's like failure, you know, it's probably inevitable. But you shouldn't look at failure as like the end. Look at it as an opportunity for what's to come. And that's just the biggest thing that's kind of tore me apart in ways, is like I'm focusing way too much time on who I used to be and my failures and those stormy periods where I get hit and it feels like there's really no hope and there's no coming back, and I'm just down. And I spend too much time focusing on the bad, the bad. But when I can look ahead of what is to come, when I can look ahead at the goodness that lies ahead, just looking around all the cracks that are trying to poke at you and trying to tell you it's not going to work out, man. Just looking around all of that, because in the end, what's the point of looking at all that? What's the point of looking at all the bad? It's like you're going to see the bad here and there no matter what. So why not just look ahead at what is to come? And that's like the beauty of the hope that we have in Christ, is that there's always hope. And there's always good at the other end of the tunnel, the other side of the tunnel. And when you can just look ahead instead of spending so much time focusing on who you used to be, you're going to keep that cycle. And it's going to be a lot easier for you to be more vulnerable to falling back into your old ways, on your old patterns, because you're spending too much time thinking about who you used to be. But remember, we're made new, right? We're made new, and we've committed ourselves to a new life. And whenever we can look at that and focus on that, it's beauty. It's straight beauty. But the more we look behind, the more we look at who we used to be, it's going to rip you apart even more. And then you're going to start comparing yourself, and like, dude, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I just beat myself up over comparing myself to other people. And it's like, they're a completely different person than me. They're living a whole different life than me. Why should I be comparing myself to them? I'm my own person. I have my own things to look forward to that's to come in my life, right? I'm a child made in the image of God. And, we're all unique. We're all made uniquely tailored to God, made in the image of Christ. So why should I spend time worrying about what other people are doing? Compare myself to other people, If anything, that's just going to keep me back as well. And that's a big problem with social media. And like, I've struggled with it. It's like, I will just get on there and just see myself comparing to so many different people, so many different lifestyles. When I really think about it, that's just not me. That's not realistic for my lifestyle and for God, who God's called me to be. I'm my own person. What do I need to be comparing myself to other people for? I'm always going to be enough because of what my identity is now in. But the more I worry about not having enough, or the more I worry about not feeling like I am enough, or not proud of myself, the more I'm going to beat myself up and compare myself to other people, asking like, why can't I do this? What do I need to do? What do I need to do to seem more credible, to seem better, to make myself seem more worthy? What do I need to do? We don't need to do anything, homie. We don't need to do nothing. We're already enough. And that's okay. Like, just be content with that, And in today's society, it really feels hard to do that sometimes because of what everyone tells you need to be doing. And just the hustle culture we live in, I feel like. It's always like, all right, you gotta do this, make the next buck. Chase the money, chase the best job, chase the best internship. But when you look at the realistic end goal, it's all going to be gone. It's all going to be gone in the end. That resume is not going to stay with you. The money's not going to stay with you, the car. So who cares? Why not spend the time I have in this body on this earth living a fulfilled life and making the most of it? Living the life that God wanted me to live, rather than chasing the things that I think I need to make me seem more worthy. And that's the point, because the more we chase these things, there's no wall that you're going to hit. You're just going to keep going. And it's just an endless chase. So then it makes you think, like, what's the purpose? Because it's infinite, it's abundance. And that's what the ways of the world seem so glamorous and seem so appealing, is because it's an abundance of stuff that we see, and it looks awesome, it looks perfect. But the more you go down that path, the more you're gonna see destruction. And it'll just keep going, it's not gonna stop. So then what's the end goal if it doesn't really stop, right? And that's just why my whole perspective on everything has changed. And now that I know what my identity is truly in, it takes that pressure off. What do I have to worry about? It's all going to work out for good, number one. Number two, I don't have to compare myself to other people and try and act like I have to do things for myself to make me seem better. It's like, I don't have to do these things anymore. Like, how great of a gift is that? And I feel like we need this now more than ever. It's like the message of Christianity is just as prevalent now as it was 2,000 years ago, if not more, I feel like. And thankfully, I think there's a wave of people really like turning to Christ in the younger generation, which is a blessing. But you see why. It's just because we've been so conformed and programmed to just chase desires and chase what everyone tells us we need to chase. And then everyone starts to question, what is my real purpose in this life? Because this isn't fulfilling. This isn't really getting me anywhere. So you got to make the most of what you have, right? And you are enough. And that's all you should think about. That's all you should focus on. Because whenever you acknowledge that you are enough, you don't have to worry about whatever everyone else is doing. You have to worry about doing enough. It comes to you naturally at that point, because you realize what your worth is in. So you don't stress, you don't worry about these things. And it's so relieving. Of course, there's going to be times in life where you're going to worry, you're going to stress about things, because that's what happens in life. You're going to get hit by things that'll make you worry. But ultimately, it's like, you know where you get your peace from, right? You know where you get your peace from. You know what your worth is in. And that is something that you can carry for the rest of your life, to eliminate those thoughts of you feeling like you're not enough, that you're feeling like you got to beat that person, you got to beat this person, you got to be better than that person. It's all rubbish. It's all trash. There's no point in doing that. So hopefully that message struck to you all. It's something that I needed to like really remind myself of, and that's kind of why I want to make this video. But also just because I feel like it's so important in today's world. It's like, you are enough. It's like, stop worrying. And it's so important. And you should never take for granted like the time you have to just think about that. Like, just be still every once in a while. Stop rushing everything. You know, what's the point of rushing? You know, this life that we live in is supposed to be cherished. It's supposed to be lived to the fullest. So if we're always rushing through it, we're missing out on what God wants us to see, right? You know, that's why he says, be still and know that I'm God. And sometimes, you know, you got to take that literally. Just like, bro, turn the TV off, turn the music off, just chill. It does something to you, I swear it does. But anyways, that's pretty much all I got for this video. Thank y'all for watching on a hot sunny day. About to break a sweat out here, but I love it. I love the sunlight, and it feels amazing. It feels awesome. So that's all I got. Thank y'all for watching this video. I'm gonna try and get more consistent with the uploads. I'm thinking like 3 days a week, and actually get on a schedule and just commit to uploading. Because why not? I can. So here we go. Let's get to it.